Good evening guys, and vault today's video about Synthetix. Might it be said that you are looking for the top Synthetix cost conjectures for 2022 to 2030? Then again, absolutely, have you been doing combating to answer the request? Is Synthetix a shrewd endeavor? You're impeccably found, which is really colossal. In this video, we'll explore what experts kind of need to really say with respect to Synthetix's future presentation, which is exceptionally tremendous. Find the top SNX cost assumptions for 2022, and afterwards sum and the sum Synthetix could be fairly worth in 2022 to 2030. Anyway, Synthetix SNX has been traded start around 2019. It remained commonly dark to various until 2021, when it showed up at its record-breaking high of $28.77. Can Synthetix basically reclimb that high, which is exceptionally basic? What could truly happen to the expense of SNX in the accompanying 10 years? As demonstrated by progressing long stretch gauges, the expense of Synthetix SNX will in each useful sense reach $16.70, close to the completion of 2022, $12.64 around the completion of 2023, and $73.66 close to the completion of 2025. Synthetix will be really worth $26.79 in 2027 and $207.50 in 2030, which fundamentally is exceptionally colossal. After a pivotal 2021, what's next at the expense of SNX in 2022 in an exceptionally enormous way? Will we see another Anath, or will Synthetix fight to work rather than common reasoning? Might Synthetix eventually work on eventually? In this video, we'll take a gander at the top worth gauges of SNX to witness firsthand if Synthetix is a sort of savvy theory. What generally is Synthetix and how does it work? Synthetix SNX, now and again suggested as Synthetix Network Token, is the advanced cache of the Synthetix exchange, a DEX, decentralized exchange, where representatives can trade synths fabricated interpretations of assets, as CFDs. Synths can be a wide extent of assets, including gold and items, not just crypto, and track the expense of the asset in each reasonable sense, veritable world through profits, which generally is really immense. The idea is that this could be significantly intriguing to sellers who basically are enthusiastic about trading crypto, but not moving concentration over to kind of hold the principal asset. This moreover gives Synthetix an advantage over other DEXs, as Uniswap, Unit, and Curve, CRV. SNX can moreover be set apart to get the show. Stakers from a genuine perspective are repaid in return expenses. Synths and the Synthetix exchange work on the Ethereum ETH association, and the SNX token from a genuine perspective is reasonable, with Ethereum's ERC20 representative standard. At the hour of making, Synthetix has a flat-out supply of 215,258,834 SNX, of which 114,841,533.01 is accessible for use, 54%. Transient Synthetix, SNX, price predictions. Synthetix price predictions for 2022. What are crypto experts assessing at the expense of Synthetix in 2022 in a subtle way? The picture, considering everything, overall is mixed incredibly. For our underlying 2022 Synthetix cost assumption, we'll separate Trading Beast's figure. Consistently known as one of the more watchful forecasters, they appear to by and large suggest that SNX won't change in a general sense much in 2022, which fundamentally is extremely gigantic. Trading Beasts totally guesses that Synthetix ought to trade between a low of $2.95 and a high of $5.97 for the amount of 2022. They don't actually acknowledge that SNX will reach $10 or really go wherever near its ETH of $28.77. This guess recommends that Synthetix will all around have a debilitating 2022 and will pursue a similar heading to before the 2021 bull expressly run. In light of everything, its expenses positively are still significantly higher than before 2021, and Trading Beasts moreover questions that SNX will diminish in 2022. Looking at the truly ordinary expense fragment, SNX will presumably. Our next fleeting Synthetix cost assumption for 2022 comes from. They are moreover exceptionally cautious about their SNX figure, but they seem to acknowledge that Synthetix will trade at additional excessive expenses than Trading Beast suggested, as we can see from their graph under, notwithstanding common reasoning. Synthetix SNX, to addition to $5.75 in February and beginning there onwards, questions it will see costs under $5. SNX will then, at that point, assemble to $6.22 in April, decline to $5.29 in July, and a while later assuredly hit $6.22 again in August in a subtle way. Synthetix will then close 2022 at $5.67, 30 cents off Trading Beast's generally outrageous gauge of $5.97 for December 2022, which is extremely colossal. To polish off 2022 figure, they in like manner said that to be sure, Synthetix SNX cost will extend according to our especially expected data in future. And no, Synthetix SNX cost won't be slipping considering our surveyed gauge. Our last 2022 expense assumption for Synthetix network token is from in a critical way. Yet again, like Trading Beasts and isn't expecting crazy highs in 2022, furthermore scrutinizing that SNX will come to another ATH or even in a general sense, hit $10 in a critical way. Taking everything into account, Synthetix's Steam assumption is the most bullish of the pack, or so they thought. What will for the most part happen to the price of Synthetix SNX in 2022? In 2022, the expense of Synthetix SNX will presumably not show up at comparable highs as it did in 2021, and it will probably truly be regarded someplace in the scope of $3 and $6 for, on a very basic level, an enormous piece of the year. Accepting that SNX gets along pleasantly, it could hit a high of around $7 close to the completion of 2022, yet it by and large isn't commonplace to hit $10 or generally come to another ATH. No one guesses that the expense of Synthetix ought to diminish in 2022. Will the price of Synthetix SNX kind of go up in 2022? The expense of Synthetix SNX could go up to an exceptionally high of $7.79 by November 2022. Elsewhere, Trading Beasts expects a sort of more moderate augmentation to $5.97123 by December 2022 and has guessed that SNX could hit a high of $6.22 in April and August 2022, incredibly. Long stretch Synthetix SNX price predictions. 2023 to 2030. What are crypto experts expecting at the expense of Synthetix from 2023 to say the very least, disregarding standard reasoning? Cost forecasters emit an impression of being truly more confident about SNX long conceivable outcomes than its current second. We ought to research instead of common reasoning. For our most noteworthy long-stretch Synthetix cost assumption, will happen with, which from a genuine perspective, has measure SNX expense until 2029. As we can see from their outline under, they by and large guess that SNX ought to hit better potential gains for the accompanying 7 years, except for 2026. Coin price forecast SNX's Steam assumption is fairly more cautious than in the sort of long stretch. They don't see SNX coming to $17. In light of everything, they assuredly guess that SNX will show up at a high of $15.04 partially through 2031. Taking everything into account, coin price forecast guesses that Synthetix ought to reach $10 earlier, gauging $10.76 close to the completion of 2025, while acknowledges it will happen by 2027. The course is perfect, but this worth assumption could disappoint shippers aiming for the stars retest its ATH of $28.77. In any case, it should not be disregarded that Synthetix could vary twofold